Empathy is the ability to relate to another person's situation and adjust accordingly. It is understanding and sharing another person's experiences and emotions. I was recently doing an exercise with my E3 aspiring leadership team, and I asked them to write down the leader that inspired them most and why. When I asked for the characteristics that best describe their leader, every single one of them used the word empathy. Any successful leader excels at this E3 emotional quality of empathy. H. Jackson Brown Jr. says, remember that everyone you meet is afraid of something. They love something and has lost something. As leaders, our job is to figure out what that might be so that we can relate to them. We can give some slack if needed. We might change our approach on how we do it. We might back off or give a hug, or maybe we need to provide better training and empowerment, whatever may be necessary in that situation. So how can you be more empathetic? I have 6 things that I think are critical to being more empathetic. First, check your ego out the door. It's not personal. It's not about you. Although we like to believe the world revolves around us, it doesn't. Each of us have our own unique situations that we're dealing with. Second, be aware of what our unconscious bias and privilege is. Because listen, bias is natural and it's not necessarily bad. It's important that we recognize what it is, we understand it, and we don't allow it to judge or cloud our judgment. Third, don't assume. Because we all know what happens when we assume. We really make an ass out of you and me. So simply ask the question, what's going on? You will be surprised with what you find out. Fourth, truly believe that no one wakes up with bad intent. No one gets out of bed in the morning and goes, I'm going to really mess with so-and-so today. So when someone irritates me, now my first thought is, if no one wakes up with bad intent, what's really going on? What am I missing? Fifth, be courageous. Society has warped us into believing that sharing personal experiences shows weakness. It's a lie. Think of all the leaders you connect with. I guarantee they share their personal experiences with you at some point. Lastly, be authentic. In order to ask others to share feelings, experiences, current events, you have to be willing to put yourself out there first. Never judge someone unless you've walked a mile in their shoes. This was a constant mantra from my father when I was growing up. This critical lesson was instrumental in establishing my approach towards life and shaping my leadership style. I looked up to my father, and I still do. So I would take this phrase quite literally and spend many an evening shuffling around the house in his big brown moccasins. Like my father, I try not to judge. I like to find the good in everyone. I aim to understand what people are thinking and feeling, maybe how they approach things. Because if I can understand someone better and I can share their experiences through empathy, I can then inspire and enable them. It provides a foundation for trust, and it really builds better relationships and better teams. So the next time someone irritates you, I hope I've inspired you to stop and think, I wonder what size their shoes are. So please check out my blog, No One Wakes Up with Bad Intent, for more stories on how to be an empathetic leader. Thanks.